McLaren's fastest and most powerful road car ever is here, and it's called the McLaren W1. What's good, guys? Welcome back to Ron's Rise. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another video where it is here. The hypercar that will take over the reins at the top of the McLaren tree. It follows in the footsteps of the seminal F1 and its modern successor, the P1. Now, McLaren is building this, the latest entry to its one series of flagships, as the ultimate expression of a real supercar. Well, the F1 and P1 were, by all accounts, quite extraordinary themselves, but if this is the new standard, then it's going to be quite a tough act to follow. Now, straight off the bat, the headline is numbers. That McLaren, has something special. With a hybrid V8 powertrain, the W1 delivers a total output of 1,258 horsepower, 1,275 PS, 938 kilowatts, and 988 pound-feet, 1,340 newton meters of torque, making it the most powerful car the company has ever produced. And that's thanks to a focus on making the car as light as possible. The W1 also has a best-in-class power-to-weight ratio of 899 bhp per ton, and in fact, it's barely any heavier than the P1 it succeeds. It's tipping the scales at 3,084 pounds, 1,399 kilograms. Now, happily to keep the weight down, McLaren has resisted the urge to go all-wheel drive and has instead continued sending power to the rear wheels as a tribute to their racing heritage. And oh yeah, there'll be a lot of talk of F1 inspired in this thing because it's sporting the legacy when it comes to the new flagship. So, enough preamble. What does this all translate to in terms of action metrics? Well, it's the quickest road-going McLaren on record. While the 0 to 62 or 0 to 100 kilometer time takes 2.7 seconds, that's impressive alone, but perhaps so is in fact that you can get the W1 to 124 miles per hour, 200 kilometers in 5.8 seconds, and up to 186 miles per hour and 300 kilometers at 12.8 seconds, and the top speed is limited to 217 miles per hour, 350 kilometers. Oh, there's a small fact that the W1 is 3 seconds a lap faster around McLaren's Nardo reference circuit than the track specialized Senna. Now, McLaren continues to make the combustion engine the star of the show for the W1, with the MHP8 V8 delivering 916 bhp, 929 PS, 638 kilowatts. Although the specs of the engine sound somewhat similar of that underpinning most of McLaren's supercars in the past, with the origins of the 80s Nissan Group C design nonetheless, the MH8 is described as an all-new engine. It remains a twin-turbo V8 90-degree flat-plane crank V8 with a capacity of 4 liters. It redlines at 9,200 RPM thanks to some Star Trek sounding plasma spray coated cylinder bores, and as you'd expect, there's some obligatory use of copious amounts of aluminum in the engine's construction. Fuel is practically catapulted into the cylinders at 350 bar thanks to the gasoline direct injection, or GDI, which is the same kind of tech championed by Mitsubishi in the 90s. Now, as with the various applications that you've seen on GDIs used over the decades, the tech is one way to keep the W1's emissions in check. The less eco-warrior benefit is that it allows the MH8 engine to have the highest ever spec output, which is a sizable 230 horsepower per liter. Now, while the V8 may be touted as the star of the show, the rest of the drivetrain is just as important. The hybrid components are lighter in the W1 than they were in the P1, and the E-module uses tech borrowed from both IndyCar and Formula One. It supplements a total of 342 horsepower, 346 PS, 255 kilowatts with the electric motor and control unit integrated as one for better packaging. Now, the motor is powered by a 1.384 kilowatt battery, and if you think that sounds puny, you'd be right. It's only enough for the W1 to travel 1.6 miles, 2.6 kilometers in electric only mode, which isn't even half the length of Monaco's coastline, somewhere you'd expect the majority of these cars to end up driving around. Now, of course, running the W1 in EV mode is less likely concerning to those who picked one up. Still, you get on board charger if you want to top things off. Now, the battery and electric motor are also employed for reversing and starting the car up after extended periods of dormancy and are coupled with an 8-speed gearbox. What isn't electric, however, is the steering and braking systems, which both remain hydraulic. McLaren is not willing to compromise on feel. Now, the borderline fussy design elements of the front fascia, combined with the many surfaces, slats, and gills down the side of the W1, are by design to aid in aero, and yes, you've guessed it, it's all inspired by McLaren's racing arm ground effect that has been buzzwords in F1 since the regulations changes, and they make their way to McLaren's top tier road car here as well. Now, what's slightly less F1 inspired, unless you count DRS, is the car's active aero. It takes the same kind of innovation that we've seen before on cars like the Senna and the 765 LT, but the British automaker says that this is the first time you can basically have two cars in one. The car can shapeshift when it comes to track duties with active front and rear wings springing into action when it is put into race mode. The rear features an active long tail rear wing that extends the working area of the diffuser and acts as an air brake and a DRS wing. Now, while the top side may look fairly aero optimized, it's the underbelly of the beast that provides the most effective use of the ground effect aero and no doubt that hovers over the ground. Now in race mode, the W1 lowers itself to 1.46 inches in the front and 0.7 inches in the rear. Then, with its active wings and active chassis control 3, it's capable of generating up to 772 pounds, 350 kilograms of downforce at the front, and 1,433 pounds, 650 kilograms at the rear, giving a total downforce of up to 2,205 pounds, 1,000 kilograms in high-speed corners. Now, everything else has been molded around the designer's design shape with some stylistic and ergonomic elements sacrificed in the process. The front suspension has been designed to not impede on the body's aerodynamic flow with the lower wishbones thanks to the push rods and inboard dampers. You'll notice a smaller window aperture and the seats remain fixed in place with the pedals, steering wheel, and other controls being adjustable instead. Now, what is the price of all of this? Well, McLaren says that the W1 will start around $2.1 million, but heavily hints that things will only spiral from there. That's because there's apparently an unlimited list of bespoke options available from McLaren's Special Operations or MSO, meaning that no two cars probably will be the same. That and fact that you're only getting 399 examples of the W1 ever being built, all of which have already been spoken for. So if you're one of those lucky 399, you'll be pleased to know that the W1 comes with a 4-year unlimited mile warranty on the vehicle with 6 years and 45,000 miles for the battery. So with that said, it is here, the W1. What do you guys think about McLaren's new beast? Drop those comments down below. Now, if you guys did enjoy the video today, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up. But also check the links in the description if you want to help further support the channel, and subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell so you don't miss one video, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.